up on Fulton today, Fulton commissioners talk about the 2014 tentative budget. We'll have a report, and we'll tell you what crisis brought together emergency officials from around the metro. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. The Fulton County Board of Commissioners receives the official tentative budget at its final meeting of 2013. So what happens next in 2014 and how do the numbers look? FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Let's come on forward, please.
Before the Fulton County Commissioners even addressed the tentative budget, they had already heard from dozens of people who wanted to weigh in on the 2014 spending plan.
Please do not reduce mental health care by Grady Hospital in Fulton County.
Most of the public comments made at the last board meeting of the year were pleas for funding for Grady Hospital, mental health, and senior services. Those were comments board members appreciated hearing.
Finance 13-1191 request approval of the fiscal year 2014 tentative budget.
When it came down to actually hearing the budget item, the county attorney explained what the board was required to do by law.
What is necessary is that you approve today the ability for finance to publish the tentative budget. It is not binding on the board in any fashion. It is merely a state requirement that is published.
The Budget Commission, made up of the Fulton County Chairman, the County Manager, and the Finance Director, develops the spending plan for the board's consideration. In the 2014 tentative budget as presented, the revenues projected are over $532 million, and the expenditures are just over $569 million. Because there is still more discussion needed on the plan before a final budget is approved, the board decided what it would do for now and how it would manage its money in the meantime.
Can we operate as of January 1 on 2013 budget?
You may.
I want to make sure we're clear about this. The consensus so far is we want the government to operate January 1st at the 2013 level. Grady, seniors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, everything. That's what we're saying. I want to make sure. Okay.
That's what I heard you say.
There's nothing in the motion that says we approve the tentative budget. The motion that the clerk read authorized the publication of the tentative budget. There's nothing in there about approve, and that's why I thought we should use the word authorized and not even use the word approval.
As the board listens to more residents this week about how they want their tax dollars spent in 2014, it knows that according to law, a final budget must be adopted by the end of January. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, the Fulton DeKalb Hospital Authority hosts a health summit to look at the healthcare landscape in Georgia and the nation. The day-long conference at the downtown Hyatt Regency featured a host of health professionals from around the region. Each discussed everything from the Affordable Care Act to eradicating health disparities locally and globally.
Well, certainly if you look at Fulton County as a whole, we don't look so bad. You know, in some areas we are making some strides, but it's really important that we do a deep dive in those numbers. And when we do that, we see that there are some areas where there are health disparities, cardiovascular disease, prevention of high blood pressure, some issues around asthma. These are areas that we still have some ways to go.
The summit also featured vendors from various health and community organizations. The Fulton DeKalb Hospital Authority works on addressing the health care needs of Fulton and DeKalb residents. The group is governed by a 10-member board of trustees appointed by the Fulton and DeKalb commissioners. Chairman John Eves was one of the recipients of the Grady Champion Award at the summit for his support of the hospital, and Commissioner Joan Garner participated in the health summit. We'll have more in our district by district segment. Emergency management officials from across the metro area are assessing just how well coordinated they are to handle a real emergency. Members of the Metro Atlanta Urban Security Initiative gathered recently to conduct what they called a functional exercise. The train derailment and chemical spill drill scenario was in the county's Emergency Operations Center downtown. It was put together to evaluate 8 regionally synchronized plans that the Atlanta Fulton Emergency Management Agency has worked on for the past 15 months.
It said that good teams don't meet in the huddle, so it's good to do this in a simulated kind of fashion before this real event.
The exercise examines and validates the coordination, command, and control between various multi-agency centers. Agency officials are still determining what modifications, if any, are needed to their emergency coordination plans. Fulton Superior Court judges decide who will serve as their new chief judge. Judge Gail Tucson has been selected as the lead judicial administrative officer for the Atlanta Judicial Circuit. Known as the chief judge, the new appointee will replace Judge Cynthia Wright, who has served as chief judge for the past 4 years. Judge Wright recently appeared on our latest episode of Fulton Justice, where she gave some advice to her successor.
Keep a sense of humor and listen to your colleagues, and particularly listen to your court administrator.
Judge Tucson was named as Deputy Chief Judge earlier this year, and she will step in as Chief for 2014 in February. Now, while overseeing the day-to-day operations of the court, the Chief Judge also addresses the needs of the public and works collaboratively with all of the criminal justice partners. Former Chief Judge Cynthia Wright will return to the bench. Meanwhile, the Fulton County District Attorney recently announced his new North Fulton community prosecutor. DA Paul Howard introduced ADA Christopher Foss to civic and community leaders during a reception at the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Chris is an experienced prosecutor. He is exceptional when it comes to working with people, and we believe that he'll bring his legal ability and his ability to work with people and work with all of the citizens here to make Fulton County and North Fulton County a safer place to live.
The public really dictates how community prosecutors work as far as what cases we handle, the issues that we deal with in dealing with the downtown, the local governments and agencies. They also really kind of set the initiatives that we focus on as attorneys and as community prosecutors.
Foss will head the North Fulton office and work closely with area residents on their cases. And still to come on Fulton Today, how one family's life changed thanks to the kindness of others. The story in our district by district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Fulton commissioners take part in making a dream come true for one family and are honored for their commitment to animals. Here's this week's district by district coverage.
It's a happy new year for a Fulton County mother who was given a brand new furnished home in East Point. Chairman John Eves was among the many community and civic leaders who joined former Atlanta Falcons player Warwick Dunn for his Home for the Holidays program. Shanta Daniel met all the qualifications for the Habitat for Humanity's program, and Dunn's nonprofit organization supplied the home with bedroom, living room, and kitchen furnishings, along with food and electronic items.
Each reaction is special, and to see the kids and the joy on their face when they actually have their own room, they can jump in their own beds, it's just a priceless moment.
It means a lot to me, and it lets you know that there still are good people that genuinely do just care about people, not for any alternative motives.
Dunn started his Home for the Holidays program to honor his mother. The Baton Rouge police officer was a single mom who was raising 6 children when she was shot and killed working a second job at a grocery store. Dunn now helps other single moms each holiday season through the Habitat for Humanity's program. District 2 Commissioner Rob Pitts is honored for the work he has done to protect animals. The at-large commissioner was given the Animal Impact Award from a number of animal organizations. Commissioner Pitts introduced the Bullhook resolution that was passed by his board colleagues. That resolution prohibits the use of the device on elephants. Additionally, Commissioner Pitts introduced the Canine Cellmate resolution to the board. As a part of the program, county inmates train dogs from the animal shelter and get them ready for adoption.
In cases like this, one individual does not accomplish a lot by him or herself. It's the Board of Commissioners, and I'd like to say to my colleagues who supported my efforts in the past that it's a collective award that I accepted on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, because we feel very strongly about the protection of animals in our community.
The Georgia Center for Human Education, Snap To It, Carl, Ahimsa House, and Our Pals Place were the animal organizations that honored the commissioner. As we mentioned earlier in the show, Commissioner Joan Garner joined local and regional health professionals for the recent Fulton DeKalb Hospital Authority Health Summit. The District 6 Commissioner serves on a number of national boards for health-related causes and issues.
I was on a panel with Dr. Rochelle from Health and Human Services, along with other panelists from the Atlanta Regional Commission, the Atlanta Medical Association, the American Medical Association, the Small Business Administration, and others, to really talk about what it means to individuals, families, and small businesses, how important it is for everyone to have health care, and then the ways and venues and mechanisms that people can use to access it.
In November, Commissioner Garner was selected to chair the Health Steering Committee for the National Association of Counties. And finally, the District 7 office announces the dates for the 2014 South Fulton Quarterly Listening Sessions. Each quarter, residents are invited to attend meetings at the South Fulton Service Center to voice their concerns about various community issues. This year's dates for the listening sessions are February 27th, May 22nd, August 28th, and November 20th.
It is important for me to make sure that my citizens' questions are answered, that their concerns are directed in the right place, and most of all that they get transparency and they get good factual information so that they can make decisions about their quality of life and what direction they want their government to go.
Each session will start at 7 p.m. Top county officials will be in attendance at the meetings so that residents can speak to them directly after the sessions. With this week's District by District coverage, I'm Darrell Peak.
Thank you very much. And up next, getting fit for 2014. The steps you need to take if you want to keep your New Year's resolution of losing weight. Stay with us, everybody.
Watching Fulton Today.
Portions of the following segment are part of the Fulton County Common Ground Initiative. Common Ground, the county's comprehensive solution to the problem of health disparities in the community.
Every year, the top New Year's resolution is to get fit. But did you know that only 8% of people who make resolutions actually keep them? Well, FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has our story now of how to make sure you keep your New Year's resolution and stay fit.
Exercise and lose weight. It seems like a great plan for 2014, but how do you make a New Year's resolution stick this time? Fulton County Wellness Coordinator Robin Parsons says the first thing you need to do is find an exercise program that interests you.
Find something that you enjoy. It could be dancing, it could be swimming, it could be skating, but something physical that's going to allow you to help you lose weight.
Jewel Peterson, who hosts Fulton Fitness on FGTV, recommends you set a realistic goal and don't do anything too strenuous.
Start out slow. Don't start out with things that you haven't done in a while. Start out with things that are pretty moderate and that you feel pretty comfortable with, and then build up.
One mistake people make is getting frustrated when they don't see those pounds fly off right away.
Don't pay attention to the scale. Inches are important. If your clothes are fitting loose, if you feel that you're feeling better, you're more productive, then that's really what really matters.
One way to keep yourself accountable is to find a workout buddy or a group that will encourage you not to give up on your goal. But if you do fall off the wagon and get back into your old ways, you shouldn't give up altogether.
The key is don't be too hard on yourself, and one step at a time.
I'm Lynn Vaughn, FGTV News.
Now you can catch Joel Peterson on Fulton Fitness right here on FGTV at 5:30 and 8:30 every day. Fulton County is offering affordable flu shots as we head into the middle of flu season. The flu season runs until March, but Medical Director Dr. Matthew McKenna says you can cut your chances of getting sick by up to 90% if you get vaccinated. Dr. McKenna says if people around you are also vaccinated, that can help protect you as well.
We've shown by vaccinating kids in school that you protect everybody in the community and can cut influenza rates by half.
The Department of Health is providing flu shots at 6 centers in the county for just $25. To see where you can go to get a vaccine, go to the FultonCountyGAHealth.org website. Preventative health screenings are proving to help not only your health, but also your wallet. Fountain of Youth MD recently offered free allergy and health screenings at the Fulton County Government Center. Employees were tested for common allergies like pollen and nuts. Doctors also took blood work to check for diabetes and high cholesterol. Organizers said once patients know what health issues they're at risk for, they're given a proper treatment plan. Wellness programs like this are aimed at keeping health care costs down.
Insurance companies actually give discounts to the employers and to the employees for preventative wellness. If we can go ahead and identify certain diseases that might be underlying, we can go ahead and assist them and be preventative in regards to their treatment programs. That in the long term is going to go ahead and help reduce insurance costs.
If your company is interested in having a similar wellness screening, you can go to fountainmd.com. And still to come, a highly acclaimed illustrator visits one local library branch. The inspirational message he gave to hundreds of children in Fulton County.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Winter arts classes are starting in the county next week. There are dozens of classes offered at the county's art centers, including dance, theater, painting, and acting, just to name a few. There are even classes designed specifically for children. Classes are 6 weeks long and start January 14th.
Fee structures are different for each class and at each location, but they are very reasonable rates, and all of the rates can be found online.
To register for the arts classes online, visit fultonarts.org and create an account. You can also see the full list of classes offered on the website. And finally, a highly acclaimed children's book illustrator hopes to inspire young students in Fulton County. Jerry Pinkney spoke to about 300 children at the Central Library and told them how important it is to follow their dreams. Pinkney has won dozens of awards for illustrating more than 100 books, including The Lion and the Mouse. Pinkney grew up in a small house in Philadelphia, so drawing and painting was a huge outlet for him as a child.
Oh, I loved drawing probably from the very early age, like most children. As soon as mom and dad gave you something to mark with and to mark on, and I started drawing, and I realized in many ways that it was a gift.
Pinkney told students no matter what their passion, they should always work on getting better and having high goals for themselves. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs right here on FGTV. Go to our website to take a survey or email or call us. The number 404-612-8317. The email address is fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can also follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, friend us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.